Manchester United reject PSG's latest loan to buy proposal for Manuel Ugarte. United offered the chance to sign Ben Chilwell this summer, and United also looking to sell 5 players before the window closes. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this afternoon's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 1,000 likes on this episode. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. Currently, only 50% of people who watch our videos are subscribed. So if you're one of those who isn't subscribed, make sure you get involved. It's completely free content and everyone is welcome. Right, let's start the show off by talking about Ben Chilwell. And I want to get you guys' opinions on this one. Should Manchester United sign Ben Chilwell? There are multiple different reports coming out in the last couple of minutes that apparently Ben Chilwell has been offered to Manchester United as a permanent deal. Ben Chilwell. All I'm going to say is this, right? You just have to look at Ben Chilwell's injury record, and I think that kind of says it all for me. We all agree that Luke Shaw's injury prone, right? That's a pretty uncontroversial take. Ben Chilwell's injury record is worse than Luke Shaw's. A lot worse, actually. He missed 35 games last season, 20 games the year before that, and 45 games the year before that. Honestly, it's awful. Absolutely awful. And I'll be honest, even when Ben Chilwell is fit, I'm not convinced that he's that good of a player. Like, is he better than Luke Shaw? I don't think so. I think he's probably worse than Luke Shaw, and his injury record's even worse than Luke Shaw's as well. So I don't understand the logic behind this. And, well, I understand why Chelsea are offering him to us, because they want to get rid of him. He's on massive wages. He's barely ever fit, and he's not part of their plans. Why would we want to sign Ben Chilwell from Chelsea? They're welcome to offer him to us, but I would hope and pray that Man United wouldn't even consider bringing him in. He's on £200,000 a week as well, which is £50,000 a week more than what Luke Shaw earns. So not only is he injured more than Luke Shaw, I'm not convinced he's better than Luke Shaw, and he gets paid more than Luke Shaw. So for me, it's a massive no. If we were going to sign someone as a kind of last-minute emergency left-back deal, I would probably go for Reguilon, or I would go for Marcus Alonso. Both of those players would be available for literally next to nothing. Alonso's a free agent, and Reguilon's got 1 year left on his deal, and Tottenham want rid of him. And I think both of those players you could probably pay anywhere between 50 to 100 grand. Give them a 1 year contract just to see how Luke Shaw does injury-wise this season. Whereas Ben Chilwell is going to want like a 4 or 5 year deal on massive wages. It's a massive, massive no from me. And I would be absolutely disgusted if Manchester United even entertained Chelsea's proposal. Obviously, we know that Chelsea are interested in Jadon Sancho, so maybe this is part of those conversations. You know, maybe Chelsea have said, we want Jadon Sancho. Are you interested in Ben Chilwell? And I would hope and pray that Manchester United's answer would be no. Because, yeah, that would make absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. But you can let me know your thoughts on Ben Chilwell in the comment section below. I want to move on to 5 players that apparently Manchester United are looking to move on before the end of the window. This is coming up from Samuel Luckhurst, Manchester Evening News, in the last couple of minutes. So we'll start with the first player. The first person is Jadon Sancho. And he is actually reporting that apparently Manchester United would now be willing to loan out Jadon Sancho. He says United are willing to let Jadon Sancho leave either on loan or permanently. It says that Jadon Sancho has obviously been reintegrated into the squad, but he started on the bench against Man City in the Community Shield and was not part of the squad against Fulham. I think Jadon definitely has to go, 100%. A loan, unless it's a loan with an obligation to buy, I would do that, 100%. You know, if we could loan him out and then say next summer we get 40 million, 50 million for him, I would take that in a heartbeat. But a straight loan, for me, is absolutely stupid, to be honest. There's no other way of sugarcoating it. It would be a terrible bit of business if we loaned him out without a guarantee of an obligation at the end of it. Because the thing that people seem to have forgotten is Jadon's got 2 years left on his contract, right? You loan him out for 1 more season. He'll come back next summer with 1 year left on his deal, and you know for a fact Jadon Sancho won't leave then. He'll stay, run down his contract, and leave for nothing. So a loan with an obligation to buy, great, get it done. But a straight loan, 100% not. Interesting clubs-wise, it's still the same people. It's PSG, it's Juventus, it's Chelsea. Those are the 3 teams who are battling out for his signature. We'll wait and see how that one progresses. I still think Jadon Sancho is going to leave, to be honest. But yeah, obviously we'll wait and see. The next one that Manchester Evening News are reporting is Scott McTominay. Obviously, they're saying that apparently Napoli is still interested, and Napoli would be willing to pay £25 million or €30 million to sign McTominay. I think that's probably a deal that will happen. Apparently, McTominay wants to move to Napoli. He spoke to Antonio Conte. He's agreed personal terms with Napoli, and he sees that as an exciting move for his career. Whereas he didn't see that with Fulham. He saw that as a step down. And I don't blame him. I mean, imagine going to Fulham when you've been playing at Man United your whole life. No disrespect to Fulham, but they're not Manchester United, are they? Whereas at least with Napoli, you're going to, one of the biggest clubs in Italy, massive fan base, world-class players, amazing manager, amazing stadium, amazing city, all of this stuff. Whereas, let's be honest, going to Fulham, obviously London's a great place to live, but all of the other things, like Fulham are probably one of the smallest clubs in London, aren't they? We'd all agree on that. So yeah, I can understand why McTominay rejected that proposal. And then the next player is Hannibal Mejbri. The latest on Hannibal, this is coming up from multiple people, is that apparently Leeds United have entered the race to sign Hannibal Mejbri. At the moment, the main club pushing for his signature are Burnley, but apparently Leeds have entered the race and are interested in signing him. I have nothing bad to say about Hannibal. I don't think he's Manchester United quality, but I'm not going to criticise him. He's not really had that many opportunities. He's still relatively young. He's, he was one of those players who came to Manchester United, I think 4 years ago from Monaco. Everybody thought he was going to go on to be the next big thing. It didn't work out. It hasn't happened. And I don't think he is, the quality for us at the moment, even to be a squad player personally. So yeah, if Leeds United and Burnley want to battle out for him, go for it. Manchester United are apparently asking for around £10 million for Hannibal Mejbri, which I think is fair. I'd be happy with that. I would take that. The next one that is being reported is obviously Pellistri. We've already spoke about Pellistri a lot, so I won't spend too much time on this one. Pellistri is obviously set to join Greek side Panathinaikos. That will be a deal worth €6 million. So that deal is effectively set to go through. So just to recap, we've had McTominay, Sancho, Hannibal and Pellistri. That's 4 players. And then the 5th one is Will Fish. Will Fish is on the brink of joining Cardiff City as a permanent deal. So those are 5 players who the Manchester Evening News are effectively reporting will leave the club or are in talks to leave the club over the coming weeks. So Jadon Sancho, McTominay, Will Fish, and who was the other one? Hannibal, someone else as well. My brain's gone. But yeah, those are the 5 players. And I think realistically, like looking at it from an outside perspective, that probably makes the most sense. I can't see people like Lindelof going. Lindelof's injured. Maguire's not going anywhere. Like Maguire's going to get game time this season. Rashford's not probably going anywhere. So Anthony's not going anywhere, So I think that's a realistic list of 5 people who are going to leave the club. But the next story I've got for you is on Manuel Ugarte. And the headline coming out now, so we've got various bits of news on Manuel Ugarte. But the first bit of news is that apparently PSG have had a proposal rejected by Manchester United. They've apparently proposed a loan with an obligation to buy. But PSG want £51 million next summer. And Manchester United have said, we don't want to pay £51 million. We're not going to do that deal. We want to pay, apparently they want to pay around 42 million. That's what's being reported, which in pounds is, it's about 50 million pounds, I believe. Sorry, 50 million euros. Yeah, it's 50 million euros. So Manchester United have effectively said to PSG, right, we'll do this loan deal with the obligation to buy, no problem. But we're not giving you 52 million pounds next summer. Like, that's not going to happen. Either you take the 50 million euros or we don't have a deal. And apparently Manchester United aren't bothered whether it's this summer or next summer. Like, they want to do the deal now. They're happy to pay the money now. Like, the loan bit doesn't sweeten the deal for Manchester United. They'll pay the 50 million euros now, but they're not going to pay 60 million euros next summer. So PSG apparently want the full 60 million euros next summer, 52 million pounds. Man United have said no. But there is a wide belief now that a deal will happen. It's just a case of ironing out the details. So Fabrizio said in the last couple of minutes, he says the United remain optimistic on signing Manuel Ugarte. They are working on a deal which will be a loan with an obligation to buy. He says the negotiations are advanced and they are progressing well. So that's Fabrizio Romano, which is obviously good. And he's also confirmed that there is currently no talks going on between Manchester United and Edison of Atalanta. He says Manchester United's primary focus is Manuel Ugarte. So I just hope that Manchester United get their man. I hope that we don't end up paying the 50 million pounds that PSG are asking for. Sorry, 60 million euros. Like, we need to make sure that we get him for the price that we're happy with. So, yeah. Hopefully we get a here we go on this one soon so we can kind of just move on from this topic because it is getting a little bit tiresome now. But That's just how it is in football sometimes. But I'm going to wrap the video up here. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Don't forget to drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be back at 6 p.m. This has been Daily Red Devil. Have a lovely afternoon, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.